Rated M for mature.
If you've played Sniper Elite enough, you've developed a healthy aversion to at least one of these things. How many are you afraid of? Keep watching, if you dare. Before we begin on our Sniper Elite fears, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss our new videos every week. Now then, Karl Fairburne himself isn't a man preoccupied with hang-ups and neuroses. I mean, look at him. With a jawline that square, he only has to catch his own reflection in his scope to be assured that everything's fine. But those of us in control of him, well, we often develop instinctive fears in the game. Fears that come about through mucking up what was previously an amazing stealth run, or dying in a pile on a roof somewhere instead of saving the world. So, yes, how many of these are you afraid of?
No time to admire the scenery.
I had a mate once who was scared of vinegar. Honestly, he couldn't even stand outside a fish and chip shop while we ordered, and while that probably sounds like an irrational fear without whatever context he keeps privately locked inside his head, it's nothing like as bizarre as the Sniper Elite player's fear of a well-trimmed garden. Seriously, I mean, how are we supposed to sneak through this lot if the groundskeepers aren't even going to meet us halfway and let the shrub life grow to at least waist height? Wide open spaces are the stuff of many clammy uniforms to Sniper Elite players, because we're not an out in the open lot. Of course, there's always somewhere to hide if you look hard enough, but in those moments you're caught out in the open, well, there's nothing worse.
Gotta keep this stealthy.
Usually, stealth is a one-player game by necessity. Imagine if Agent 47's handlers sent in a dozen of him at once. It would be carnage. Coins and discarded clothing everywhere. But Sniper Elite 4 is actually very compelling as a two-player endeavour, if you pick the right accomplice. Pick the wrong partner and you'll end up like me, playing with Phil, trying to keep some semblance of stealth and a plan, while he went off tearing off over a frozen river into a throng of waiting enemies. Once this has happened, even one single time, the veteran Sniper Elite player gets positively jittery when their partner leaves their FOV, even momentarily. Why can't everyone just follow exactly 1 foot behind us while we methodically crouch our way through bushes? Jeez.
Oh, I'm bleeding out. How many have you ticked off so far? Good. Right, on to another one then. It's loud noises next, both of the type that you made but didn't mean to, and the type that you didn't make but did mean to. Let me explain. How many times have you taken the shot without remembering to switch to suppressed ammo first? It's a rite of passage for anyone in Karl Club, and there's nothing worse than hearing that shot ring out to all and sundry and knowing that for the next 5 minutes you're going to be doing some serious army crawling. Then there are the occasions when the noise mask finishes just before you take the shot, and they're just as bad. It's like those dreams you have where you've inexplicably gone about your daily business without putting on any trousers first, and then looking down and suddenly realising you're feeling a bit of a breeze down below the waist in a busy street market. Just like those dreams. The sudden feeling of being exposed by either of these mishaps can usually be remedied by either laying very, very still for absolutely ages until half of Germany goes back to its normal patrol route, or busting out the machine gun and making it look like you're never meant to be stealthy in the first place.
Is there a worse sight in Sniper Elite than this? I've watched Hitler escape on that boat about 100 times while I was figuring this level out. But nothing compares to a slowly filling semicircle that depicts your imminent discovery. The timing of it, the gradual painful change from probably okay if I get into a bush yellow to definitely messed it up now, red. The moment you turn to look at who's nearly alerted to you and realise he's far, far closer than you first thought, and surrounded by mates. Just a horrible few seconds for any sniper. There's an even worse version of this, which is after you've spent 2 minutes lying down in a big bush, which really doesn't look comfortable, waiting for the panic to die down and everyone to return to normal, then you poke a single limb out and, yep, yellow circle. Back to it.
Last on our list of 5 terrifying moments for any Sniper Elite player is that wild card you didn't factor into the plan. The random variable that makes you have to rethink your whole approach and do it in a fraction of a second to boot. It might be the boat circling back around at the beginning of Bitanti Village just as you're about to pull the trigger on a bunch of enemies you painstakingly tagged earlier. I've even seen seagulls fly directly into perfectly lined up long shots and absolutely mess up everything. You just can't account for that. And that's a real thorn in any Sniper Elite player's side because we like to be in control. We like to sit and watch in comfort, learning AI routines and watching tagged enemies move totally predictably miles away from us. What we don't like is discovering a truck full of new enemies have just turned up. These wildcard moments are moments anyone with a scope and an improbable lung capacity surely fears. I feel better now. It's good to talk about these little phobias, isn't it? Tell us about how many of these fears you suffer from in Sniper Elite in the comments below. And once again, remember to subscribe to Rebellion if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on our new videos every week. This wouldn't be a YouTube video outro if I didn't ask you to smash that like button, so that's that job done. And we'll see you next time. Stay in the shrubbery.